and none of them have gone down. Well, they got down in a defensive stance, slid their feet, and gave up nothing.
Fourth turnover of the night for UAB. McGee directs traffic. Lendeborg pumps it to the corner. Sparta Johnson draws 2, maybe 3 now. Lendeborg, nothing but the bottom of the net. And
but Loyson's just so big, he moves him right up underneath the basket, and he's throwing that little lefty hook in, or receiving that right hand hook from 6 feet in front of the hoop.
He's got 9 points tonight, does Loyston. Burying a tray.
They're at that line so much, so after they make that second free throw, they fall back into their defense. Everyone's got their assignments, and they can get that defense locked.
Lendeborg is so smooth, does it that time with
much more aggressive offensively. What is that now, a second triple here in the second half?
Second 3 in the second half for Tillis. Give him 13 points on the night. Lendeborg answers back.
Dama Alpha ball, so Tim, Santa Clara is going to have to find some offense to keep up with this UAB team.
Well, he didn't play the other night as well, and they have other guys, so they've got balance. Not just a one-man band for Santa Clara.
First bucket of the
playing this style of offense back in the early 2000s, and he said, well, we didn't have the shooters then, but the one thing Andy Kennedy has to be aware of, and he wants to make sure his team knows this, is not get caught up into the three-point game. And they're taking a lot of them early. They're not taking a lot of time off the clock, which is the danger zone for them.
Lendeborg tips the rebound to himself, now runs the break. Lendeborg, circus shot, counted and a foul.
Little offense by accident, but hustle, extraordinary, and also just great nose and feel for the game and the ball.
Soccer assist there by Cameron Tung. 10 seconds to go in the half. Lendeborg, Napper nowhere to go. Bad miss there, but an offensive rebound. Ensminger missed the second effort. Lendeborg like a fullback in the lane.
His ribs felt better on that possession.
Stewart averaging 12 points per game this year, so right at his season average. Lendeborg going at Ensminger, and Lendeborg wins. 5 on the shot clock. Carlos Stewart. Good defense. Lendeborg standing tall. Now the other way with the left hand.
With a rebound, looking to run. Vasquez, pull up 3, grazes the rim. Lendeborg right there with an easy follow. Brown over Lendeborg, misses. Ajaba with the rebound, but coughed it up down the floor to Lendeborg. Euro lays it in. First lead for UAB since it was 5-4.
Now Christian Coleman out of high school worked for 2 years in a Walmart until he hit a growth spurt.
He's got the pass there. Lendeborg with the dunk. On. Lendeborg barreling in, missed the shot, got it back, puts it up, off the window and in. Drives. He kicks it outside. Finkley's 3, no good.
And then what a recovery by Yaxel and Lendeborg. He still was able to recover and contest that 3.
Catch and shoot. Lendeborg 3 hits.
St. John's, but when Mike Anderson was fired, he re-entered the market. Lendeborg with the follow, so your college product out of Arizona Western.
And a guy that's in his 5th year of organized basketball. And I think him wearing the Superman cape is something he's had to become used to. He didn't grow up just being the man, but he is the man now. You see him now. He has embraced.
Newell. McGee powers through, and it's rejected by Newell. Straight to Lendeborg. And he finishes through contact.
It was their defense holding North Texas to just 20.
Russ Hodge took over for Grant McCaslin after spending 6 seasons as an assistant underneath him. Lendeborg with the 3. This goes back up strong. Wow.
You talk about a straight vertical on his head. Great finish by Lorient.
He's nearing a double-double. Vasquez harassed. Nearly turned it over, but saved it. Lendeborg will put it on the deck and banks it in. At what point are you comfortable playing that? Rebounded by Ezerrero.
I think this will have to be more towards the last media timeout if they can continue this lead. But he's starting to look a little bit better. I mean, look at that. And there's been a couple.
Jonathan Massey gives it up. Latrell Giselle, no. And Lendeborg finds the rebound. He wants to push. 2-on-2. Lendeborg, two-hand jam!
You can try to have that next play mentality, clapping for his guys. You got to get over it, suck it up, get a stop. Still some time left here, but you got to play near perfect basketball for 2 minutes.
Vasquez gives it up to Tony. Tony brings it out. They'll let Lendeborg use the clock now. Ball in their star's hand. Yaxel Lendeborg, plenty of time to shoot. Spins into the paint and rolls it home.
Vasquez finds the cutting McGee, but he can't finish. The tip up is good.
Now for UAB is going to be on the interior.
Coleman trying to keep it alive. He tipped it to Lendeborg, who has been everywhere on board. The sophomore from Congo converts the three-point play. Gotta love the fight out of the Pirates. They have not gone away. Down by 9.
They've been able to make some responses, but unfortunately for them, UAB has always bounced right back. They're going to have a longer period of sustaining stops.
That is a pro-level move from Yaxel.
As a man ready to play, he's brought it tonight.
But a Johnson curling finds Lendeborg, pump fake, uses the little shoulder. I'm telling you, these are 5. Woodard. Couple dribbles, pull up Jay. The fight for the rebound, and it's Moore bringing it up the floor. Tony. Lendeborg calling straight on. Cash money. Yaxel Lendeborg. We've also only had 2 triple doubles in the history of the American Conference tournament. We could see a third for both here tonight.
We'll be in good company with Alan Ogg, had some time in the NBA, and Paul Delaney III, a strong player, still playing professionally in Israel.
And a 10 points, 3 rebounds. Lendeborg through the chest, tips it up and good. How do you stop?
Most definitely.
Lendeborg backing off, unable to affect that one.
There it is.
As Tony, his first double-double of his career, coming here as a senior.
He knows he's got a little smile on his face. He knew it was coming.
Lendeborg sitting on 7 assists. Makes his move. Off the window. Another tough bucket. Felton off 2 feet. Puts it in. He's got 28 points now. Let's see if ECU continues to foul. There's their full court trap. UAB's got to get it across the timeline, and they do. The Pirates electing not to foul here.
Good strategy. They tried it already. Now you have to lean on your defense. It confuses UAB.
Lendeborg looking at the shot clock. It's at 6. Comes to a stop. And that soft touch. He's got 26 points.
Vasquez off the bounce. They find Lendeborg in the corner for 3. That is his first attempt. It's tipped around and kept alive. Lendeborg grabs on the baseline. Up top to Tyron Moore. Already has 2 threes. He's shut off. Lendeborg will try again and connect on that one.
UAB just being more aggressive from outside lately.
Bad pass, Daniels, turnover. UAB on the run, inside Lendeborg for the stuff. Contact and scores. So Glenn playing aggressively with 3 fouls. He's got his 3rd field goal.
That's where Greg Glenn excels. He finishes very well through contact.
Lendeborg in Banks. Works along the baseline, spins and scores over that left shoulder.
Eastern, that is
monster game. Absolutely. Followed by number 24 Arizona and Kansas, and Cooper Flagg and number 2 Duke taking on North Carolina.
Yeah, it's going to be a great Saturday as Yaxel goes through. Get it shot. Take a deep breath, get your second win, and settle into the game, understanding this is what you've been doing all year.
Lendeborg stepping out, knocks down the 3.
Took him on a ride. He didn't walk on that one.
He didn't walk it. Oh, look at that follow through.
That is nice by Yaxel right.
So here goes McGee, working off 2 feet. It is tough sledding inside as Lendeborg.
Take his time, guys get open, and you had a great job by UAB coming over. Help side was there. It's hard when you got a 7-footer looking over the top and with an easy drop off.
Lendeborg, mid-range jumper, that smooth looking.
Easy baskets. They've been struggling to score. It's very important to get that going to establish themselves.
Lendeborg with the huge block that leads to the breakout. He's calling for the ball back. He gets the touch on the wing. Now it's Ezerero slowing it down. Nice flow to this game early on. You can tell both teams want to run. And Lendeborg!
Range, and the analytics say that's not the best shot to shoot. You got to get to your sweet spot and make it happen.
Another turnover poked away. Here comes Lendeborg. Protects the basketball, throws it up in front of Davis.
Did a really good job of face guarding him. Now he's continued to be disruptive on the defensive end.
And a 2 from the line. Lendeborg brings it up the floor for the Blazers. Trying to go to work, takes the body and finishes. $1 million to come back to play for UAB. Our jaws hit the floor. He is so grateful for this opportunity. Came here last season from a JUCO when he felt like no one believed in him. And now he is showing what he can do, and it rolls off the rim. No.
Riley Ezerero is also checked in, number 22 in green. There's a deflection and a Blazer steal. Tyron Moore also in number 5. Here he is. Just flips it out. Butta thought there was somebody behind him. Vasquez able to save it right near midcourt. Now Lendeborg, he's got the advantage on Bell. Here comes Quincy a little bit too late.
He can play in the NBA. High basketball IQ. On his 5th year in organized basketball, making plays like that.
Lendeborg has 3 assists tonight. Right now looking for his second bucket. And he makes... Lendeborg bumps into Ballard, kicked out. Moore steps up from the free throw line. Rebound Lendeborg, 1 dribble. He goes up with that left hand and scores off the glass.
Yeah. Under control, doesn't get sped up. Good things happen for Bijan Cortez when he stays within himself.
Cortez had missed all 3 of his 3-point shots, having better success inside the arc, but there.
Here's Tobias and pulls for a deep 2. And on the glass is Tony. One of more wins as a Blazer than anybody else in school history. Vasquez dumps it down low. The ball movement by UAB. A UAB team coming out after a tight win Wednesday on the road in Houston against Rice. Lendeborg got it. Nice catch from deep. It was way deep on that one.
That's the exact percentage he's also connecting on in conference play. This guy has really put the work in the offseason to go from an average shooter to a great one.
Bowman gets it inside to McGee. Here's Lendeborg, leading scorer. And Lendeborg comes Temple the other way, 3-on-2. Piccarelli wants it, and it gets knocked away from Settle. Here comes Lendeborg the other way. Coast to coast. Where there's here's Stanford. Gets all the way into the block but can't finish. And Lendeborg with the rebound. Blazers like to run. Tony off the curl finds Lendeborg. Beautiful share. And
by Lendeborg. 21 points and 19 rebounds the other night against South Florida.
A double-double machine. I mean, he's flirted with triple-doubles this season. He can really just do about everything.
Kennedy has this program at a very high level. They've won conference championships 2 of the last 3 years. We'll talk a little bit about Andy Kennedy's resume. Very impressive. Inside, easy bucket there for 3 on the floor. Mr. Instant offense normally. When he's on, he's does a lot of damage. Inside, that was knocked loose by Powell. Here come the Blazers. Kicking it out top. Three-pointer up and good.
Now on both feet.
Shot up and good. Inbound for the Blazers. Tony out there. First minute of the second half. We're tied at 43. The floater goes down.
Jacob Dar is having offensively, one away from his season high. He's also assigned a really difficult.
He has always had a guard that could just flat out score and get points. And he was hoping that McGee was going to be that guy.
Blazers with Lendeborg trying to work on Brandon Stroud. Up and under, got it. Look at that.
Play the game. They're trying to get the ball into Reynolds. You see that each and every time down the floor. If that's taken away, they're looking to dribble drive.
Great early start. He's got 7 points on 2 of 3 from the field, 3 of 4 at the foul line. 1 point Bulls advantage. Coleman bounces it for Lendeborg. Reynolds on him. 1-on-1. Count it. How about Reynolds inside here for USF? He's got 11 points, Coach, on 4 of 6 from the field.
Keep feeding him.
Lendeborg on the take for 2. Lendeborg 4 to shoot. Up and under. No.
Oh,
tapped up and in.
Easy to do. That is a knack because he has talented players. They're unselfish. They love each other, and they play their butts off for him. I mean, that's special, and he does a great job with that.
McGee had just scored on the previous offensive possession, and now Lendeborg. Bulls. Johnson. Adam McCoy on him. Johnson to the hole. He got a block on him, but Johnson got it back. Kicks it out. Shot clock. Lendeborg gets the pass for 3. A step back shot, tough one that time. Rebound Coleman.
That's not the shot they wanted. They really wanted a better shot than what they got.
Got to stop Lendeborg. That's a tough task.
Yeah. Missed from Riley and John to that point. Teams averaging over 10 offensive rebounds per game, and you're already getting a glimpse as to how and why.
Yeah. Extremely hard on the offensive boards.
Lendeborg cut off, goes to work and scores.
Great
physical presence, 6'8", over 200 pounds. That's a lot to handle down low, even for Coleman. Lendeborg gets the jumper. Good look down low by Moore. Coleman, and now Lendeborg with the hammer.
You have to have. And this is where the Pirates start to go into their lulls offensively and have to find ways to continue to impact the game, whether that is creating turnovers or if it's getting off.
Burrell to the rim, and he gets stuffed by Lendeborg, and they're able to keep it alive. The Blazers back to work on offense. They can take a lead with a 3.
Lendeborg with the volleyball spike.
Lendeborg tries it from deep. Got it. Most of his damage done in the second half. Lendeborg cut off. Coleman against Burrell. Missed the shot. Lendeborg right there with a follow.
Able to secure it and make that touch teardrop floater.
R.J. Felton, a rare commodity these days in college basketball. Playing all 4 years with the same program. Lendeborg answers on the other end. It has been an up and down, back and forth game here in the latter stages of the second half. Lendeborg cut off, now turns left to score.
Denial on the wing. Lendeborg with the steal. Big fella takes it himself for the jam. Vasquez. Coleman takes him in range. Lendeborg does everything for him. Mean Green has made both of its shots this half, 2 for 2. Newell blocked by Lendeborg. He is the do-everything weapon for this UAB squad. Senior from Pensacola, Pennsylvania. Fucking New Jersey. Lendeborg on the floor. Turn around. Mike. Floor after the shot to the midsection. Trying to reverse it. And it's pulled down by Lendeborg. Now he'll lead the break. That's what NBA scouts love about him, his versatility. Drew the foul. Andy Kennedy says count it. Or in the Newell. Sissoko yanks it down. And then Lendeborg taps it away from behind. And hammers it home. Tyron Moore with the dish. Extra pass for 3. Tony with the rebound. Will bring it back out.
That was a monster effort by Tony on the offensive glass.
Lendeborg got it. They missed a few. Jabari McGee playing with 4 personal fouls back on the floor for UAB.
I like kind of this Horns look where they operate through their high posts with their bigs. They're going to try to get Yaxel down there on the block.
Yaxel. He's getting.
It's true. Here's Graves again for 3. He's 0 for 2. And Lendeborg skies for the rebound. Not afraid to go coast to coast.
And the thing about Charlotte, they're doing it from the baseline. They're doing it from the opposite wings. They're doing it from the same side. They're moving extremely well without the ball. And for Blazers, they've got to be in constant communication, especially with the help side defense.
Lendeborg over Rosado. Yes.
Has great vision for a post player, much like Yaxel, Lendeborg, and Christian Coleman, both really good passers. We're seeing probably 3 of the better passing big men on the floor this afternoon.
Vasquez has had the hot hand, does not pull the trigger. Lendeborg will pull up and use Lendeborg now with his 6th rebound of the half. Coast to coast would not go. And then another offensive rebound. Tyron Moore turned down the 3, turnaround 2. And Coleman.
And it's inexcusable if you're Charlotte there. There are 3 defenders there. Nobody putting the body on the best rebound. Him to play defense without fouling. Yaxel 2 fouls in the first half. If you can come out here and force him a little bit into some trouble, that gives you a chance on the offensive end. Of course, Graves and Rosado and Blackman, they got to come out and they've got to look to score.
Low block for Yax. Couple of good head fakes. Still gets his man in the air and shoots and scores. Weren't close. Vasquez, kick. Tony. And then Lendeborg, offensive board, 2 points.
Weird stat today.
What's that?
Only 1 rebound.
For Rosado.
Yeah. He's been in the thick of everything else.
Averages 6.5. Think that Lendeborg has something to do with that?
Of course.
With the left. Kidding me?
Get a little stronger. As the railroad travels, no call.
Lendeborg adds an offensive board. 2 junior colleges and then 3 years at Louisiana Monroe before winding up at Charlotte.
When I was a player, it was a big story when a player was 24, 25 years old. Now, college basketball, that may be the norm for guys that may not get a chance to play at the next level. They figure.
By Keaston Willis, starting lineup for the Golden Hurricane. Isaiah Barnes in his 4th game back from a hand injury. He's in the Red Crown starting lineup. Blue-collar player Simon Wright. Keaston Willis leads the American in 3s. In the first 3 of the night, just a rebounding machine in particular on the offensive glass. Keaston Willis cannot counter the opening tray. The Blazers head the other way.
Lendeborg, Chad, made that 13th made 3 on the year, and I don't think Tony is going to get an easier attempt than the one he missed on that baseline out of bounds.
Lendeborg clean to ram one home. Missed the first 16 games of the year. Did Garcia. Had a pair of knee procedures in the offseason, but he looks healthy and good tonight. Lendeborg, friendly roll. Shooter
there by Christian Coleman. I mean, he was right there. And you guys like Keaston Willis, the scouting report says, be there on the catch. He's not a guy that you have a late closeout, because if you do, you're dead. You have to be there and run him off the three-point line, and that is exactly what Coleman did.
Too easy there. Lendeborg.
Air Cowboys.
Air Tony Lamas. Tulsa turnover, their fourth. Tony. Lendeborg up high and down. That's an own goal.
That was definitely a hoops own goal right there. But if we get another look at that, I think DeJuan Odom was the closest. And just being in the right place at the right time, he got a deuce out of that.
10 seconds to shoot for the Blazers. Lendeborg peels up high off here. He had a 36-point game for Georgia Southern against Appalachian State. Lendeborg just took that one away.
Look at this guy.
Vasquez with a three. Way off the mark. And the rebound, Lendeborg again. Up and under and a foul.
From behind the arc, and Tulsa was the recipient of, I thought Lendeborg may have gotten hit on the, right there on the, I don't know if the wrist or more the forearm on that drive. And Tulsa made him pay and got out in transition and banged the three.
Lendeborg.
Again, it just looks easy.
Late shot clock there. Barnes had to trigger a guarded three. So now UAB can run a little bit of time off the clock here.
I tell you what, this has been such a game. Both of these teams look a little winded right now, and obviously we have a timeout coming on the next dead ball. But you can look in their faces both ways, both green and white, that guys are winded. I mean, they are competing right now. And this guy right here, man, look at this.
He's taken over.
You know, one of the things about sending four guys to the offensive backboard, if you're UAB, is you don't have very good balance in transition. And Memphis taking advantage of a couple early turnovers, defensive rebounds. Right on cue, the guy you play limitless because they've been winning in spite of turning the ball over. Now you start to take care of it. I mean, I really do think the sky's the limit for this team potential-wise.
Nice touch by Ozawira off the bench, goes into danger, and Lendeborg's there for the putback. It was hideous. What can you say? The great thing for Memphis is they defended for 40 minutes, and despite the atrocious offense as Lendeborg finishes. At Moberly Area Community College, Missouri. Cisse brings down the lob, and tackled by Jourdain. Johnson for more. Up top, Lendeborg. Hey now.
That's a three from the wing. Rebounded by Coleman. It's one and done every time for the Roadrunners on the run and then roll.
Defensive possession, and that was a simple miscommunication. Spears able to take advantage of two guys guarding the ball.
Well, he doesn't shy away.
And it doesn't take him long to get it off. He came off that ball screen, immediately got square inside pivot, right, left, and up. And UAB, they're going to have to figure out a way to force him off the line because he's coming out of ball screen actions. They're screening for him as well.
2 years ago, he led the ACC.
Well, I think if you're UTSA, what you want to force UAB into is exactly what we just saw. Yaxel, Lendeborg, or another Blazer player taking an excessive amount of dribbles, trying to create an offensive look.
Coleman finds Yax, reverse, good. The Roadrunners have a response. Let that go in the backcourt. Lendeborg looking for a highlight. Oh, nice move.
Right play.
And he now has 20 points. One below his season average. He's 10th in the NCAA in scoring.
It's hard to get 20 a night, especially when the opposing teams know that you have to have 20 in order for your team to have a chance to win.
Lendeborg spins and scores.
And the offensive rebound. That time Joe Smith has been earning his keep this second half by attacking the offensive glass, keeping balls alive for the Roadrunners. That time Spears able to spot up for the three ball.
They have hung in there to the last drop, had the Roadrunners down by 4, 2 minutes left to go. Players in foul trouble, players on the bench hurt. Here's Lendeborg.
Flashes to the basket. He got the angle on Coleman, and was able to take it all the way in.
Jennings has struggled a little bit in his last 5 games, so that's a good sign for him to get to the basket, try to get an easy look at that confidence going early in this ball game.
Lendeborg to the hoop. We anticipate.
And keeping that defender on his hip after he got into the lane.
Tyron Moore, senior guard. Lendeborg now matched up on Stroud, and he shoots over. Brown kicks it off this time. Reynolds with a three. And Tony the rebound. Reynolds does have 4 threes this year, but his percentage is not that high. And there's Lendeborg.
Tonight, he's been knocking down shots from all over. If you're South Florida, you make a little run here. You need Knox to step it up a little bit here in the second half and contribute on that offensive end.
Down to a 13-point margin. Bulls trying to fight back. UAB coming off a win at Florida Atlantic. Lendeborg with the left weight. Instead, UAB a chance to increase the 11-point lead.
Talk about putting some game pressure on UAB. That would have done it, cutting it to 8.
Williams now drawing the defense on Lendeborg, and the shot goes.
Knocked away from McGee. In time, Tony. And the offensive rebound of the stick back. Yaxel. Lendeborg's got Tony up ahead, and he will drive it into Miller, who denies him. Lendeborg loose change, and he scores it, his first point.
Saying Woodard in the tournament. Doing my best. There's no N. It's Lendeborg.
Lendeborg, yes. Lendeborg snapped an 0-for-8 stretch for UAB. He's facing up Miller, drives it into Miller.
Tough.
Nice finish.
Lendeborg, they're not going to let anything go up easily. Take the first one on the drive and dump it.
Lendeborg's got 7, 6, and 5 right now. A long 2-point jumper is good.
Okay. What a finish.
Miller, Lendeborg draped all over him, and he still scored it.
FAU starting to put together a little run, good offense, back and forth, but it felt like FAU starting to find it. Lendeborg takes it away. It's really been good basketball.
Lendeborg, tough shot contested, shut up and drive.
Is that a song?
It is.
You probably have the vinyl.
I don't have any Rihanna finals, no. I should. Lendeborg again. Just 1 for 5 from 3, and a win at Charlotte on Wednesday. Johnson. Lendeborg. A 3 for His legacy. 8-point lead here, UAB and FAU. Winner of this game goes to 3-1. Second place in the league after the first few weeks. UAB the preseason pick to win it after winning the American tournament title a year ago. And Yaxel Lendeborg. Tony rejected again by Miller. Lendeborg has it. Lendeborg puts you. Doesn't matter now.
I think he does a good job of really keeping that back foot down. He's just long.
Lendeborg into Boykatitis, rolls it home.
Just about for the entire UAB Blazer team. The reverse layup, no, by Coleman, but here's McGee. Blazers running. That 3 off the mark. Tipped. Regained by Tony. McGee thought about the 3, drove. Lendeborg. Range.
That's how Brumbaugh doing a really good job of staying away from the trees, whether it's on penetration or scoring opportunities such as that last shot.
Second on the team in scoring, just over 14 a game. And speaking of scoring.
And Tony with the recognition, trying to get it inside to him.
4th foul so far for Tulane. Lendeborg. Blazers. They love to score in transition, and that one hit the heel of the rim. Nice job by Tony following his shot. Fresh 20. Lendeborg to Moore. Back out to Yaxel. And he drains the 3. UAB's 5th of the night. They're 5 from 11. 5 for 11 from behind the arc. It's 46%. Lendeborg got it knocked away. A little baby jump hook on that.
18-2.
Right. Yeah. Terrific start. So Tulane has regained the lead. Under 6 minutes left here in the first half. Tony. Lendeborg. Just trying to lob it to Lendeborg. The steal by Johnson. Now the easy lay-in.
Paint all night.
We're halfway home in the second half. Run ball. Cannot convert. Blazers 3-on-2. Lendeborg. Two more.
That much better of a team than if you had lost.
There's a nice play defensively by UAB, and now the Blazers have numbers if they can take advantage. Banks hustles back, and now it's 5-on-5. Had almost like a power play, if you will. First hockey reference of the night. There is Lendeborg way out on top. Top of the key, in and out and back in. At half, he's got 9 here now in the second half. Where will your eyes be focused, Mo, in these last 3.5 minutes?
Well, I think you have to let Yaxel Lendeborg touch this ball every time down the court. We talked about teams playing with pace and tempo. Now you have to execute on the half court, and that means getting it into the hands of your best player.
Right on cue.
Somewhere. Here's Vasquez. Nice pass to the corner. That ball's a little bit too long, and then rebounded it to himself. Little tip. Jay Nash has no idea what to do with it. Carrington misses the around and out. Lendeborg. Nice find. Coleman back to Lendeborg. Yaxel is fouled, and he's got a chance for 3. Alejandro Vasquez, to get more credit, he has to be a steadying force.
Well, let's credit UAB for finding him and getting him the basketball consistently.
Easton Willis had the missed deep 3. Tulsa is now 1 of 11. They take the most threes of anybody in this conference. They have not made them today.
Well, without 2 starters in the injury department, this is going to be a team that's going to struggle, and there's Lendeborg right there. Moore not playing very much today, and he's been a guy that has been at the point guard position. But Andy Kennedy going with Vasquez a lot today. Jabari McGee, another guy that he's given a lot of playing time. And we see Lendeborg more and more leading fast breaks.
He ducks in and scores. Lendeborg in.
The Braves to play one-on-one late in the shot clock. That makes it even more difficult to score because obviously you have a certain amount of time you've got to get your shot off by. The defense knows that as well.
UAB in possession and a +1. Good look from Butta, and Lendeborg slams it home.
Trapping zone. Today electing to work on their 2-3 zone.
And usually you got Coleman up top on that zone. Coleman, lob. Oh, my goodness. ESPN.
Tony, not known as a scorer, typically does a lot of the dirty work such as this.
Keeps the possession alive. Lendeborg might go coast to coast.
Tony has played his role as probably as well as any player has ever played their role here at UAB.
Lendeborg, actor who passed away, who was known for his role in the Green Mile. And the smooth velvet tones of the 90s rhythm and blues singer Alexander O'Neal. Remember him?
I do. He's played over 27 minutes and has not committed a foul. I saw him jerk his hands back there as if it was a hot stove he was about to touch. You can tell he's making a conscious effort to not foul this game.
Lendeborg strong to the glass. 5 numbers in succession. Meanwhile, Christian Coleman just having his own game, and then Lendeborg says, I'll play.
They're saying that ball rolled out of bounds before Ephraim Johnson was able to pick it up, but
Lendeborg, tough stop there, and he finishes second chance. Jabari McGee, the strong drive, the finish by Lendeborg. Get out of my way.
Just sort of a traditional guy, and they'll have a bigger guy at the 2 position tonight. Tyron Moore getting started at the 2.
You were talking about Christian Coleman in the opening. That was him on that second chance. Lendeborg opens up. He had the height advantage inside there at 6'10".
He is active early. UAB electing to switch. That time, McGee not quite able to switch out with a bigger UAB player.
Tyron Moore. There's Yaxel for 3 from the wing. Yes! 3 from behind the arc. In fact, 3 out of 5.
But they've done a great job making shots so far, but they haven't defended the paint exceptionally well yet tonight as they get their first paint basket.
Under 9 remaining here in this first half. Lendeborg fouled from behind.
Plays that you have to be able to make when games are tight. That's probably what drives coaches the most mad.
Another steal for UAB. Lendeborg with the emphatic dunk. Be working the clock now, Mo. Jabari got deflected. Back to Lendeborg. Oh, my goodness.
As he often does, instead of staying in the corner for the 3 ball.
Follow wouldn't go.
And that's how you know it's just not your night right there. Nelson there missing a putback jam that he probably scores 10 out of 10 times.
Nice feed, McGee. Lendeborg, 2.
Any concerns about a team coming out up after the half playing so cautious.
3 for the win.
And you've got to go quickly here.
Look for big shot Butter. Is he on the floor? Yes. Vasquez. Lendeborg slams it home.
Catch the ball in position around the rim. The Panthers forced him to catch it a little further away, and he struggles so far.
Lendeborg, a couple of moves. Soft finish. Prairieville only down by 2. They hit a 3, they would take the lead. Here's Lendeborg getting another rebound.
Every time UAB has a small chance to push the pace, Prairie View does a great job of getting back, matching up, not allowing them an opportunity for a quick, easy basket.
Now, Yaxel in the paint, spin moves, got to take that. He took an open 3, missed, UAB got the rebound, the offensive board gave it right back to him, and he took another 3 and missed. And that's where I would say, what do I do? I just missed for UAB, 10.5 remaining in the game. You see Prairieville still hustling and fighting. Lendeborg takes a 3. Yep.
And that's a shot.
Butter. And then the follow. Here's Lendeborg. Gets an offensive rebound. 2 points and a shot at
side. He wants to use that girth to create an unfair advantage on the offensive glass and offensively just getting his spot on the bottom block.
Here's Lendeborg as he works his way to the hole in his game. He's so versatile.
I'll start calling Jabari the Puma.
On the drive for UAB, that's McGee again. Offensive rebound, Lendeborg. The defense moving and allows plays like that. Three back the other way is no good by Johnson. Offensive rebound. Lendeborg finally getting back into the act.
Nice pass to the high post.
Alston back over to Cameron Weston. It's a three. It's a long one. Lendeborg the rebound.
That's a man's rebound by Yaxel Lendeborg. Big possession. Huge possession right here.
Moore all the way underneath the basket. To the corner for Hargrove.
Tyron Moore is really hunting his shot with the ball right here.
Bounces it back. Lendeborg gets a step on Loof. Takes it in for two.
Great decision by.
They've led by as many as 15 points in this game. Make it 16. That was back at 58-42. Now Lendeborg comes back to cut the
1-3-1 zone. Again, look for, there he is. Mustafa again just got open.
Misses on the runner though. And UAB quickly. McGee into the front court for Tony. Under a minute to go. It's a 5-point game. Moore thought about the three. Takes it in. Knocked away. Scooped up by Coleman. Tries to dump it inside. Lendeborg got it, and a foul. No foul. They're going to just count the basket.
UAB's starting five. McGee, Lendeborg, Coleman, Johnson, and Vasquez.
What did Johnson coming off a good game?
There's Lendeborg.
Mo in the game.
Lendeborg out to Tony. Strokes a three. Too strong. Offensive rebound. Lendeborg underneath. His shot won't go, but he tips it in.
Back. They dodged a bullet on that play.
Vasquez rises for three. No, but Yaxel Lendeborg just haven't shot it particularly well yet this season. Against Vermont in the season opener, they didn't make a three. That was the first game since 2013 that a Blazers team has not made a three. They're 0 for 8 here in this 7th place game.
I think their bigger issues at the defensive end, defensive transition.
Lendeborg knocks in the
communication and sprinting back. Those are the strengths of Louisiana, and that's the strength of the Blazers.
Inbounds to Garnett, a catch and shoot three. As Aguero with the rebound. Moore to Lendeborg. Lays it in.
Off Koki Beach. It's got a shelf there that drops way down like 30 feet.
Looks like Coleman traveled with
That's
it as he grabbed the rebound there.
Out with it, but Bob Marlin didn't complain. Another offensive rebound for the Blazers. And there's that power move.
Oh, Lendeborg.
Too strong.
Then 6'8". I think it's the wingspan.
Wingspan, quick jump. There's a steal from that half-court trap they've been using.
A little better intensity on defense since this last time out for UAB. Lendeborg launches the three and connects and just. And underneath gets it to Garnett. And the shot is short. And now McGee on the run. The lob to Lendeborg, and it's a 2 and alley-oop.
Now, think about yesterday. McNeese had 11 offensive rebounds against Illinois State. Thus far, UAB's got 0. And that was in Terre Haute.
Lendeborg follows his own miss.
His hands are so good in his feel for the game. And he's got quick feet, so he's stepping through before the double gets there.
He had a career-high 13 points against UT Martin at the start of this season. 7 rebounds in that game. And Lendeborg underneath. He's got soft hands as well.
They use a Princeton backdoor cut. Great play call by Ryan Peden. Pressure on the wing. Make him pay that backdoor cut.
Coleman squares up on Walker. Lendeborg wants a three. That's good. Emmanuel Richards into the game. A couple of starts already this season for him, and Elisha Tucker in for the Lancers.
We got the mismatch inside.
Lendeborg catch and too strong.
Rich with a great block out.
Richards was not expecting that pass from Garland. And now Lendeborg in transition. Able to. There's Luke, the dump off. Oh, what a job by Tucker just to receive the pass. Johnson into Lendeborg, and Lendeborg showing the muscle. Garland's shot rolls off the rim.
You just get the feeling the momentum's here with UAB in this game, especially with the foul issues that Longwood has had, especially with Michael Christmas.
Lendeborg calling for it inside. He's in the double digits, which capable of doing. So much room for Yax to grow even from what he's showing right now.
Well, that's a scary thought. This guy's a double machine.
There's a rebound and a putback for two more. Struggled in the first half from the outside. Longwood this half, just 1 for 5. Lendeborg like a freight train, then uses the soft touch.
Sometimes the officials has a bad view if they're out of position.
3-point lead for Longwood after the free throws. Johnson to Tony Coleman goes inside. Lendeborg, 16 points now. And you got a field that seems like loaded with teams that could make the big dance. As Lendeborg with the
includes the big game by Ephraim Johnson up in High Point. So they were much lower going into that game. But tonight, from behind the arc, 0 for 9. Here is a highlight. Well, Lendeborg. Coleman tried the wing. That was tipped up and in. I'm going to tell him you said that.
Eventually.
That's one of your better friends.
You know what? I am a Tony guy, but Tony typically loves to go to the basket even when he has open three-point opportunities.
That's only his third 3 of the year.
That may be the most athletic play you'll see from Tony. That save.
Lendeborg.
Amazes me. He can find a little opening, gets to the hole, scores. That was a huge basket, not only for his confidence, but to get some rhythm for this offense for High Point.
10 to 2 points in the paint in favor of the
There's
Panthers.
A double.
Double comes on Lendeborg. Splits the 2, and he gets his first field goal.
Nice job, game field.
Coleman on the bounce, creates separation. 5-footer, shot at 4. Gordon a second chance.
Not picking on Coleman. He's had 3 shots, all of them in the paint. Not come close to making one of them yet.
4th chance, and that's what it takes.
I like this.
Really pressuring toward the half-court line and a steal. Lendeborg cleared for takeoff. It's that coaching chess match that can be so pivotal, the bottom line in a contest.
Well, there's not much coaching chess match. It's about understanding what's going on, who's doing what.
Lendeborg jets to the cup.
There you go. Breeze is going to be there. How the matchup's going to be. 2 big guys on the court for High Point, if you call Hamilton one.
Lendeborg trades paint down low. Good defense from Hamilton, but better offense.
It's not been able to turn Southeastern over at the clip that they would like, and they haven't been able to turn any of those turnovers into real points.
Last foul was on Tyron Moore.
Only 4 turnovers so far. You see Buckley deny Moore on the perimeter.
In less than 7 minutes. Here's Lendeborg with his first 2 points of the game.
That's besting his opening game output. Only 6 against William Carey. You can see the confidence growing in Southeastern, just in the way they're moving defensively. Everyone's rotating quickly, active, communicating.
Robury, by the way, out of the game. Should be a little bit more space, but Coleman almost lost the handle. Lendeborg for 3. He's got a home run. Hines has got a little height on Tony, but he missed, and here comes Lord Lendeborg. Back to Yaxel for the slam finish. And that's a nice tough shot there made by Buckley to kind of slow the momentum down.
And if you're UAB, you don't mind Buckley taking that shot. Tony did a great job of staying vertical, not fouling, not committing, a bad and one opportunity or creating an and one opportunity for Southeastern. Buckley 10 points this game.
Lendeborg trying to take Robury to the rim.
And that's where Lendeborg has around the rim. Great pitch ahead from Yaxel Lendeborg.
Elizy tried to follow his own miss. You hit a 3, this place would go bananas. Gordon There's Yax for three. Got it! Tyron Moore had a big game against Southern Miss. 18 points, had 4 threes. No points in this game, but his team's out in front. Lendeborg got position almost unfair.
Hair plan. KCB?
Yeah, I got it. Good one. Yeah, that's true. Tell you what, you got hair. You're not allowed on that bench for the Blazers. Lendeborg finishes.
Time.
So Steve,
watching the Blazers.
Steve has made his decision that he's going to free up his schedule to go to the Virgin Islands.
Right.
Well, it's very nice of him. Here's Lendeborg. What a finish.
And just a touch after Moore's last miss.
Well, the Blazers were 7 for 35 from behind the arc. Remember, 0 for 10 against Vermont.
Could not get a bucket to go. But you've got to be, in today's game, you have to be able to utilize the three-point shot. You've got to find guys that can knock shots down. And more importantly, you've got to continue to shoot them when you're open.
Lendeborg, nice move. 2 points.
Time high.
Footing UAB hoping to keep their foot on the gas. Jabari McGee. That one is off, but the rebound stays with the Blazers. Underneath, wide open, and another dunk for UAB. Yaxel.
Illinois, St. John transfer, veteran point guard, not on the floor. When you don't have that, it definitely can be seen on the offensive end. For sure, UAB does such a great job of shifting and changing defenses.
Coleman one-on-one. There's a three. Lindeborg has the first triple of the. Some of the best defense you'll see from Andy Kennedy's bunch. And this is almost getting unfair. Both teams scrapping for the ball. Christian Coleman gives to Yaxel Lendeborg. Blazers on the move. Tony to Lendeborg.
On that possession here, of course, we're 13 minutes in. I think now he's starting to kind of relax a little bit.
Well, Mo, you say that. These guys have missed a lot of time. Alvarez missed all of last season for Southern Miss with an injury. Lendeborg and the foul.
To avoid him and shovel it to Izzy for the easy dunk.
Off the baseline inbounds. Christian Coleman rather. Lendeborg. Three ball is good.
UAB, defensively especially.
Lendeborg. Short. Who else but Coleman? Lendeborg. Got it.
As they go through the growing pains offensively.
What a performance. Scored 62 points against Vermont. And you see they've got 94 right now. Make it 96. Yaxel
to disrupt the shot.
Shamir Bogues with a rare miss. Lendeborg trying to go coast to coast and with the left hand. And I'll tell you what, this trip will be a heck of a trip if they can steal a win here. Lendeborg follows his own miss. Lendeborg trying to warm up, gets to the rim. Second chance, and Yaxel will go to the butter for three. Lendeborg for two. Got it. And the Blazers. Lendeborg saves the loose ball. Everyone get nervous in there.
And here's where you like to see the Blazers show a little patience on the offensive end. There's no rush. You did a great job getting a great stop.
Lendeborg trying to take Barnett. Friendly home run. Blake stolen by Lendeborg. Lendeborg around traffic. Second chance with the left hand. Then Bogues missed. Vasquez pulls it down.
And that time, great urgency from the Blazers.
For the tie. Got it.
You got to shoot it when you're open. You can't turn it down.
Lendeborg, yes.
With a little bit of a push.